So I've booked my test. I know exactly what races I want to get into. I just need a race car. But where do I start? So from the get-go, I already knew what sort of races I wanted to get into and what sort of car I actually did want. But the problem was finding one, and that was the biggest issue that I did have. Now, a lot of people, when it comes to building a race car, just go for something like an MOT failure or something that needs lots of work. But we didn't want that. We wanted something that could just get in, possibly even use, and be able to just keep maintained. And with my stupidity, I wanted something that was gonna not just last, but because of the plans I've got in my head, I wanted something that was pretty much perfect to drive. So we all begin at the start of November. I actually started looking before I even booked my test because I wanted something that could just get me to and from, especially with work, to actually get me where I need to go and actually use the vehicle. Where do we start looking? So we'll take you back to the 8th of November. Now, this is the day that I actually booked my test. And this was the day that I knew that this project was going so far. And I was actually going to get so far into it. And in my head, I was thinking, great, perfect. I've booked my test, but I haven't driven a manual in 2 years. So what actually happened after I booked my test? So after I booked my test, I had a manual car. It was perfect. It was while I was driving in. It was while I was learning. And then 4 months after, I changed to automatics, and that's where the driving life became a little bit easy. Obviously, automatics, you got accelerator and brake. That's it. You get in, put it in drive, go. Or if you got S, cheeky bit of sports mode. So yeah, let's go back to the start of November. I've booked my test, and I'm thinking, great, this is perfect. I need to get back. The project is going the exact way that I want it to go. And then it struck me, I need a car. Now, as you're also aware, the red one, the Nissan, has been off the road for quite some time. And to this day, it is still off the road and still broken. But we'll get that into another video. So I was needing something to get me to and from work as well. In my mind, I was thinking, great, I can try and sort of find a car that'll do both. One eventually until the red one's back on the road so I can use that. And then something also then after that I can just completely make it into a race car. It was incredibly hard to try and find this car. And I absolutely looked for days and days and days. And it got to a point where I even went on to places like eBay, Facebook Marketplace, Gumtree, the usual suspects where you don't try and look for cars because you honestly just come across a lot of scams. Now, the problem with me is that once I know the car that I want, I will not stop until I've actually found that car. And as you'll see in a moment, there was different versions of my car, but the one that I needed and wanted my mind was set on it. It was set on it to actually just go for it, find the perfect one, and hopefully be able to just use it. A week and a half went by and apps had no luck. I just went on, again, all these different sites to try and find this car. And then I had the best piece of news I think I've had in a while. Weirdly, I come across this ad on Facebook Marketplace. Now, again, you try and steer away from Facebook Marketplace of buying cars because there's just, again, a lot of scams. Bear in mind, I'm looking for a second-hand car, not like a brand new car. I'm looking second-hand. And I read the advert, and it was just too good to be true. And I mean, way too good to be true. So the first thing I did, I instantly went on there, dropped the guy a message, and I was like, hey, look, I'm interested in this car. How much are we looking at, and can I come see it? And I'm sat there, message after message, thinking, this is way too good to be true. So we're going backwards and forwards. He's sending me loads of photos of all the stuff that comes with it, like service history, receipts for any work that's been done, the keys, everything. And we then decided, boom, stuff it. Let's go and see the car. Now this, it's not local. This where I went to go see it wasn't local to me at all. So then came around the 17th of November, and this was the day we went to go look at the car. So after about a 2-hour journey from where I am over to where the car is, we finally arrived. And I didn't film too much of what actually happened on that day, but here's a clip of me of when we actually did arrive at the place. So it is Sunday the 17th of November, and we're going to go look at a potential race car. Yes, and as you can tell, I am not well at all at the moment. There's been something going around at my work, and it's now suddenly my turn. So I'm not well in the slightest, but that doesn't stop us at all. Remember, we don't ever stop. So yes, we're going to go have a look at a car today. So let's go and see it. I'm not going to reveal anything just yet. And if it is the one, then we will be doing a big announcement just after there as well. So let's go have a look. Right, let's go check it out. It looks gleaming, but let's go have a look. The first alarm bell when he did send me where the car is didn't scream the best. It wasn't a dealership. It was just someone's house. When the location is someone's house, you just got to keep, alarm bells not ringing. Just keep your minds like, expect the unexpected. I've always said this because it's just one of those ones. I've had friends that have gone to someone's house to buy a car and it's not there, and they're trying to get scammed. It's one of those ones you really have to be careful. But we got there, and the car is there. It is in broad daylight, and it looks way better in person than it does on pictures. And again, it was just way too good to be true. Now, we are looking through this car with a fine-tooth pick because, again, everything just didn't make sense. The price, the service history, the receipts, it was just, again, way too good to be true. And honestly, we were gobsmacked. Now, obviously, there was a few little bits here and there, but for the year this vehicle is, we kind of expected it. But as we were digging through, we were finding more and more very good things that's actually been happening with this car. And I mean very good. I am the second owner of this car. There's been one actual owner. There's actually two logically booked, because the first one was actually from the dealership itself. The second is the person who's had it from brand new up until when I've just bought it. It has got everything with it. And when I mean everything, a stack of paper like that, which is sat right next to me, of all the service history, parts, and any sort of work that's been done to this vehicle. And I must admit, it is detailed. Now, obviously, with the year of vehicle, you do expect it. But again, having all this documented was just unbelievable. And then it came to the crucial part of all of this, the cost. Now, when we were looking on sort of online and around, I did see a few go for a certain different prices depending on condition. Some ranging quite high, some ranging quite low. So we were aiming for the middle because, again, we wanted one that was working, one that actually can get me from A to B, because I needed to use this as more of an everyday vehicle for a very short period of time, just while the red one is off the road. So this car was advertised for £1,350. Now, for this car, which you'll see in a brief moment, isn't too bad. But obviously, with everyone, you want the best. You want the best sort of bargain. So we're going backwards and forwards between sort of like offers, having a look at the car. I did take it for like a very, very, very quick, like up and down the road as a little bit of a test drive, and it just felt so good. I mean, really good. And then came what I think is probably the best decision of my life. We bought it. The hand was shaken, the money was exchanged, the V5 was transferred, everything. It was insured to get me back home, taxed, the lot. And that was it. I've got the car. And finally, Here it is. The Motorero Project racing car. Oh, let me show you this beauty.
Are you ready? This is it. This is a BMW 318 Ti compact. There's not much back end to it. And basically, this is the race car. This is it. This is literally the bad boy that's going to send me round the tracks, probably about 40 miles an hour. This is the bad boy that's going to get me round the track. I hope. So why have I chosen these is because these, not specifically these ones, but the E36 compacts and the E46 compacts are just very popular. You've got the BMW Cup, you've also got the E36 and E46 Compact Cup, production cups as well, loads of different races I can enter. But the problem is, it's a bit too nice. And when I mean that, this car, this history is incredible. And when I mean incredible, I mean technically I'm the second owner of this car. This car's got 124,000 miles on it, and about that much of service history and repairs done by the previous owner, and she's really looked after it. But nevertheless, we're gonna make this a race car. And I bet you're wondering, why didn't I just go for like a standard E46? They're common to come across and probably a lot cheaper. Well, the matter of the fact is weight. This has got a 2-litre engine in it, and it weighs a lot less than the standard E46s because it's a hatchback. It's shorter, there's less weight in it, it's more durable. Apart from the BMW's history of rust. This is why a lot of people go for the compacts when it comes to racing with BMWs. To be quite honest, I've been driving it and it is actually very nice to drive. Like, I've been told numerous times it would be very pointless racing this because it's just too nice to race.
Basically, that is it. We have picked up that BMW 318 Ti compact, and honestly, I've been driving it. It is now the 2nd of December, and I absolutely love it. And the first thing we did when we brought it home was went and got it washed, because we wanted to see actually it was clean anyway, but I wanted to get it spotless. So I actually went to my local sort of car wash, and here's a little clip.
So I don't want to film too much while I'm sat in here, but long story short, we went to go and get the vehicle and have a look, or just have a look and evaluate. We ended up getting it because it was beautiful, to be honest, and this is the type of vehicle I do want to race. So
it is incredible. Like, getting into manual after like so many years felt really weird, but very good at the same time. It was weird. Obviously, once the Nissan's back on the road, the BMW will be coming off the road to then be made into a race car. Now, what is the actual plan for this? Now, it's going to be a road legal race car, which means I will be able to drive it to the event if I physically wanted to. I'll be able to drive it on the roads, take it to shows, not having to trailer it anywhere if I physically want to. So what is actually the plan? Now, the whole plan is to use 2025 as like a fine-tuning year. So I'm not really going to be getting into racing straight away, but I'm going to be able to get the license. And if I wanted to, I can. This is what my logic is basically get the license and then be able to just go into a race if I really wanted to. And I'm going to be saving it till the next video to actually talk about the full list of what we're going to be doing inside and out. And the best part is, now that I'm a part of a group who wants to all race with me as well, has made this project so much better. And we're already looking at places to rent as a unit, which we're looking at. We found a few, but we're just fine tuning it. And honestly, this looks really, really, really good, and I really just can't wait. So again, thank you ever so much for watching. Join me next time where we're going to be doing a sit down with designs. We've got designs ready for all these vehicles, and I don't want to reveal it too much just yet, but join me next time where we're going to reveal everything that's going to be done with the car, and then any updates if we have a unit or whether we're still looking as well. So thank you ever so much for watching, and I hope you have a good day. We're getting into racing. We're doing this no matter what. I don't care if anyone judges me or anything. We're getting into racing, and it's going really well. So again, please stay tuned, subscribe, like, comment, all that sort of thing. And thanks for joining. See you next time.